15 things you didn't know about De Beers. I wonder if they'll talk about the problems with the government. Um, periodically I tell guys, you know, if you want to give your woman or guy a symbol of love that is not, I don't know how to put it. Number one, you don't know where it came from. Um, the intrinsic value of it is pennies, and it's another one of those things that is allowed in this world that I find repulsive, which is it's a controlled market. De Beers regulates how many diamonds are on the market at any one time. A De Beers representative is not allowed. If he landed in New York, he would be immediately arrested. It's one of the you know, there's no, we don't mine diamonds in the United States. There, you can go mine them free, but there's no diamond mines. It's a phony, it's a fake market. Um, I would suggest either a emerald or an opal. Opals are very expensive, but you can get a really, really pretty stone that an expert opal expert would say, oh, it's not worth very much. It's not like this or that, you know, but I mean, just be beautiful, you know, which is like what I got my wife, and not spend that much money. And an emerald, it's, you know, it's more than 30 times as rare than diamonds in nature. So yeah, emeralds and opals, and don't get Ethiopian, or don't get any Mexican, or don't get any of the, you know, get real Australian opal. Most people can't afford black opal. Get a crystal opal, and it'll be something that for me it's much prettier than a diamond. They're beautiful. Everybody, and yeah, everybody that looks at it usually gets a different view depending on where you're looking at it. They're just, it's such a beautiful stone. They dry out. There's no problem. They don't discolor. They don't lose their shine. You can put them in water. They don't absorb water. They'll just sit there. They're very stable. That's the, you know, these other opals that are, you know, where they're finding seams of opal 3 foot thick for miles. It's just Ethiopian oil opal that's, if you put it in water, it turns clear. And then when it dries out, it completely cracks up into little pieces. So that is, for me, I don't care how big the opal is. It's just not worth it. Um, so something Australian, something, it doesn't have to be big, just a small one like this, you know what I mean? A little over 3/8 of an inch, something like that. Or an emerald. Now, emeralds, I don't know much about emeralds, uh, other than their rarity and their true value. It's much harder to make emeralds in the laboratory than it is rubies. Um, but don't get diamonds. Diamonds, they're really, I mean, it's carbon. It's just compressed carbon. They're growing them in the lab now, you know, that look better. They are a diamond. There's no, we made it instead of time and nature and pressure and heat. We did it, but there's really no difference in the structure, the atomic structure. They're just perfect. That's all. The imperfections aren't there that they find in a natural diamond. So don't buy diamonds. They'll always, you will always pay. What I think you would, I mean, even cubic zirconium, is overpriced because that's what the cheapskates go to when they want to like lie to some chick and say it's a diamond. That's why CZs are so expensive. It is. Okay. It's a market that's fed by a bad part of human nature. And my other suggestion is a gold nugget. Now, the problem with having a gold nugget in a necklace is you have to get an alloy chain because it's heavy and it'll wear through almost all chains that women wear that's so dainty. It'll wear right through it. It's just too heavy. You have to get a special chain for that. It's an alloy of silver and gold that they have that's a little bit stronger. I think there's a couple other things added into some copper but a nice little gold nugget to hang. If you're lucky, you can find shapes that look like something. You know what I mean? They'll look like this one looks like a whale. Is it up here? Where did I put them? I tend to not remember what I do with things. Here we go. All right, so I have one that looks like a whale. So what happens when you screw up your medication is that you have to make up for it somehow. All right, so this one is the whale. Beep. There we go. That's the whale. Right there. This one, people say it looks like two people dancing. I say it looks like a guy riding a bull. Right? This looks like a whale. This looks like a whale swimming with his fin back. See that? So people find all kinds of shapes in there. It's one of those things that people do, right? They tend to see faces and structures. I forget the name for that. So, yeah. These are deep. These are found very deep. Moving big rocks, jewelry quality. The assay, the darker ones were found with a different technique, and then these were found deep dredging, and then these darker ones were found in other alluvial soils away from the river. So you had some that were found on dry land, and then some that were found in the water. The ones that were found on dry land were found using a metal detector. If I was young, I say that, because my back, the thing about having a bad back, if you're young, I'm going to give you some advice. It's not going to get better. It's not going to get better. It's not. Take care of your body. It will not get better. In your whole life, I guess I had to lie to maybe 6 or 7 employers that didn't really, I really liked them. And I did them a great disservice. When you fill out your application, they ask you, do you have any disability or that might prevent you from performing your job? See, that's to cover their asses. And of course, to have the job, I would lie and say no. And then usually 3 months to 4 months later, I have to take a month off because I can't shit or even get out of bed. And they like you. They think you would really do really good, but they can't. Now that they find out you have a fucked up back, okay? And after you do that so many times, you no longer have references except for people saying, yeah, he lied on his application, da-da-da. See, if I would have started out at, say, the age 18, I knew that I should have went and just mined gold. That's what I should have done. It's moving rocks. It's hard work. But when you're young and healthy, you can do it. There's still a lot of gold out there. All the easy gold, it's gone. If you walk up any of the rivers here in Northern California, Central California, actually, almost about 3/4 of the Sierra Range, from Strawberry all the way up here to almost Oregon, there's a lot of gold out there. Probably 70% of what was laying out there is still laying out there. People took the easy stuff as fast as they could, and they raced each other. They were very sloppy and destructive, and they missed a lot of gold. They were very destructive. Up here, or if you go to any of the rivers really up here, and you'll see the piles of rocks on the side of the river or the creek. And so they just ran dredges up. There's huge areas out here where these giant dredges just chewed everything up, and then everything went out the back. But my uncle Teddy found 2 huge gold nuggets laying that just came out of their dredge because they were too big. It wasn't catching big gold. They were trying to catch small stuff. So it just rolled out the back. A lot of that is still here. But it's moving rocks. But with the price of gold, what it is now, I mean, it was $256. Last time I sold any, a jar of flour gold, $256 an ounce. Wow. That was 70% a spot. That's what they buy it at. They pay you per, everybody signs the receipt, Ringo Starr, something like that. Placer gold, non-taxable also. Yeah. I would say gold nugget for most people because it's so unique. There are very, 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 very few women have an authentic piece of gold that nature forged into a shape that they wear on a necklace. Very few, very rare. Probably much rarer than any other stone that women wear on a necklace. Earrings, little gold nuggets, extremely rare. And relatively cheap, but it's hard to get. People collect them. This is all specimen gold, non-taxable. It doesn't have any value. It's a specimen. So no matter how much gold you hold in this form, as long as you don't turn it into a brick, you can't be taxed on it. That's what happened when we went off the gold standard, Nixon. Okay, yeah, no diamonds, no. Jewelry, television. That's why. Don't buy diamonds. And they try to show all these colored diamonds like this. They're so pretty. No, listen. It's carbon. It's controlled. For me, it doesn't look any better than a piece of CZ, and no one knows what it is. If a woman has a big old giant, gem on her hand that's clear and it's white and it reflects light, if it's a CZ or a diamond, I can tell you that, without a loop and some knowledge, you wouldn't know if it was real or not. So why do that? You don't see a lot of fake emeralds, okay? And you almost never see real opal. Some opal they treat. It's a process that they heat it up, put it in nitric acid or whatever, or hydrochloric acid, and they treat it and make it really bright and glow. It's actually very pretty. But that's the only thing. That's the only thing that's the only process that they've ever used to affect the stone. Almost all of them are natural, and they're all different. Black opal, crystal opal. You know what I mean? And they're very, 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 very rare. But diamonds, no. I don't. You know, I can't remember. It was a very long time ago. I vaguely have this memory of my friend explaining it to me in really good detail of how it went down, how the diamond market got started in New York, and that I don't know, there was some political money, figures, right? Greed, but they started, you can't have a warehouse of diamonds, literal airplane hangars full of diamonds, and then have them sold in the United States for this like hyper exaggerated value because you control that market. But it happens every day. It happens every day. It's such a shame. Um, I guess, if your girl wants a diamond, I mean, but you might want to talk to her and explain that, well, this is a diamond and this is a CZ, and only a professional can tell them apart. Let them chew on that for a little while. Let them think about that. That you can make a diamond that's more perfect than an original. Tell her that, and then let her chew on it for a little while and think, and maybe she'll start to understand that an opal that's something Mother Nature made that's beautiful, but is much rarer than a diamond. So you can get a really nice opal that, like I said, it's kind of weird with opal. You can get, actually, people are like, oh, that little piece of sand, that completely destroys the whole value of the... And I'm like, I don't care. My old lady's not going to care. I'll take it. You know, it's it's weird how they grade and rate it for me. Something that's, $200 a carat and something that's $2,000 a carat. I can't tell the difference. I really can't, any more than I can tell a CZ from a diamond. I can't. To me, they're all beautiful. And then some of that is like 8,000 a carat, 10,000 a carat for the rarest black opal. And, that's because it is actually rare. So, yeah. Again, I should be an opal salesperson, huh? Or gold, like I said. But the trouble with gold is it's very heavy. Now, being around like my mom and Betty and the women that I knew that had gold necklaces, all of them at one time or another had it break over time. It wears out the chains because it's just the specific gravity is so high. It just wears them out. So you need a special wide collar on the the nugget to have as much surface area on the chain as you can. And then it's a special alloy chain so that it doesn't wear through. But that I would think is probably as rare as opal, at least, to see someone wearing a natural piece of gold. And everybody will, without fail, people, their eyes are drawn to it instantly, and they know when they look at it, it's real. But they always ask, is that real? They always ask. It's weird. They know it's real. And it stimulates them into actually asking a stranger or engaging with you. because you're wearing something that they know is real, they've seen on TV, and but very rarely do you see them ever in, in person. And people always go, "Is that real?" They always ask. They know it is, though. Again, people engage with that. Whereas if you're wearing a diamond, people, they don't know if it's real or not. For me, a night, even a large piece of gold, right, it looks prettier than a big gaudy diamond. Like for me, if you're wearing a big old giant diamond, for me that's like, I don't know. It's more of a statement than having people enjoy something Mother Nature made. More of a statement. See, that's why opal and gold nuggets probably for me are the best, even for over emerald, because you simply polish out what is there. Nothing about it is manufactured. With the gold, you don't even have to polish it. It'll come with quartz in it. Sometimes those are even prettier if you get a really nice piece of white quartz with gold running all through it. Very rare, very beautiful, and people will always look at it. So, no diamonds. If you love your girl, tell her. Lauren says don't do that. You can't tell the difference from a CZ to a diamond. Probably there's a lot of women out there wearing fake diamonds. I've seen it myself. That they actually sell a little tool that you walk around and I think that it was kind of like, I think it was a YouTube video a few years back. I haven't seen it in a while, where he was shining it on women's rings in bars and stuff to see if their rings were real, and a very high percentage of them were fake. You can't fake a gold nugget. Even with brass, you can't. Brass does not look like gold. If you've seen a gold nugget for real, brass does not look like gold, period. I like Black Hills gold, but then again, it's not a shape that Mother Nature made. I prefer something like this, that, the way this is made, like this nugget right here. Okay, so the way that's made is picture a giant spider web in your room, from wall to wall, ceiling to floor, okay, 10 feet around, where mineralized water has been pushing up through the rock and forming in these little cracks in the quartz, these little gold veins. Either it's a replacement deposit, okay, or it runs through the cracks. And as the rock wears away, the nugget itself, the gold is soft, and it just gets just got mashed down. At this time, there weren't people walking around up there. It just got mashed down. And it's like the whole spider web, very, very thin, the whole spider web gets crushed down over time, rolling down the hill, but it doesn't break. It bends. It's soft, and pretty soon you end up with a nugget, and that's why nuggets are rare. Okay. It was 1971. 1971. I was really young. No. Yeah, 71. I was really young. And we were on the North Fork of the Feather River and found this nice nugget. About is a little bit bigger than a guy's end knuckle of his thumb. Okay? Around almost, I'd say almost a half ounce of solid gold. It was solid. It's fat. And somebody had the bright idea, well, let's clean it up. And we had this discussion amongst ourselves. See, you didn't have internet. You couldn't, if you wanted to know something, you had to call a fucking library. Know the Dewey Decimal System, right? You didn't have instant access. I was saying, look, we don't want to put it in there. And you know, the other guys are like, yeah, yeah, come on, we want to clean it up, because it was a little dirty. It had all kinds of little imperfections in it, and they wanted to use acid to eat those out of the holes so that the nugget would look cleaner. I said, no, we don't want to do that. Fuck. So democratically, it went in the aqua region. And in the morning, there was a mound of brown dust. It didn't even look like gold. It was dull brown dust. 13 hours in the aqua region. It was ugly looking. Bill picks up the tube and the test tube and goes like this, and it was just, and then it was settled back down real quick with no leftover up here, except it was a color change. And every time he did that, it got darker and darker and darker and darker and darker, and the gold started cleaning up a little bit. But after that, it stopped, and all it was microparticles, because that's the true shape of the gold. When it's getting mashed down, it's combining with all kinds of little pieces of dirt and minerals as it's being compacted from this giant spider web. So really, a portion of that, or a portion of any of these nuggets, is dirt and other constituents. And we broke those bonds, and it literally collapsed and fell apart. So we've never done that again. And that's, you know, many years later, we found out that's what had happened. And that was the process. And we learned something valuable. So gold nugget, opal, emerald. After that, my personal aquamarine, a true aqua is very beautiful and is reasonable. If you're going to shop for a stone, for a ring, for a wedding ring or an engagement ring, something like that, you can go to some of these mineral shows and actually buy from someone who goes and digs them up and get a very good deal. And get a custom stone, and they'll usually know someone, or someone will be there at the show who does jewelry, custom order. Just bring them your stone, get your name, info, pick out a style, and then next thing you know, your ring's done in 6 months, you know? They're usually pretty busy. When it comes to opal, you can also buy opal, just plain opal. Lots of opal dealers. There's opal auctions, and you can just pick up a stone and then have it set in a ring or a necklace or whatever you want. Get 2 small ones for earrings, whatever. But then she'll have something that will start a conversation, because people just don't see them. She'll have more fun with it. So that's my esteemed opinion.